Hello everybody. First I'd like to take the moment to thank everybody for having us. Michael, thanks for hosting. I'm really glad that today we've had such a wonderful beginning to the presentation with people talking about how it is important to build portfolio and get your foot into the door of the gaming industry and how hard it is. Today we would like to show you our first ever game because we are students of Fachhochschule WFI Wien. We are 1 month into our second semester, and speaking for myself, I've realized that my portfolio was rather outdated and irrelevant, so we just wanted this to be a milestone that we can compare our future projects to. So, since it's April Fool's Day, we've decided to start with a silly demonstration video.
Yeah, one voice. Yeah, this is rolling.
Strategically place defenses to fight off the intruders. Collect coins from defeated enemies. Use the coins to buy more defensive towers and upgrade the existing ones. Survive all waves while the gates are being repaired.
Oh my god, I'm so freaking bad at this game. I can't go through level 1. Really? I got to level 3. I can upgrade my towers and so now thieves and kill enemies faster. Holy shit, that just does that against me. That's freaking serious. Oh my god, I need to try this out. Okay. Looks like you're...
Unfortunately, Chris and Andy aren't part of the gameplay, and this is just part of the trailer, but please welcome our first ever game. It is a 2D pixel art tower defense game called Defenders of the Damned.
Hi everybody, my name is Andy. We are presenting Defenders of the Damned. Thank you, Dan. You can go to the next slide. So as you know, this is Dan, our UI UX wizard, scene loader whisperer. We have also our own code conjurer of chaos. That's our Crispy. We have nearly two Chris's in our class, so we had to differentiate. So we named him after a Burger King meal. Yeah, and then we have me, Andy. I am the animation and combat alchemist, and yeah, we'd like to show you our game development process, and without further ado, let's do it.
So this was a school assignment, first of all. It was a programming project. It was a final project for the first semester. We were tasked to create a simple mini game with C# and Unity. We had very limited time to do it, like 2-3 weeks. There's a spoiler, we got a pretty good grade on it, 28.75 out of 30.
That looks watching.
The game that got us this grade wasn't entirely finished. It had a lot of bugs, and the levels were very separate from each other. And so we decided to just finish it to a more presentable state to be able to include into our portfolios. And why tower defense games? We wanted to stand out from our classmates who primarily, I think majority of them decided to make a platformer game of some sort. And because we love suffering, we decided to tackle more advanced programming problems. Here is the entire timeline of our development with sprints separated into a couple of days. Chris, you want to take it away?
January, yeah, sure. We started with the concept phase. We tried to actually use some professional ways, like I'm generally talking about like programming. We started with drawing a UML diagram and tried to implement the code based on that. It worked some kind of way. We had some problems, but it was workable. We had some problems, but we'll get to that later on. But yeah, we had some good start. If we go a little bit later on the foundation building, we were just like having some discussions about the map and how we should actually create that, because like some of us were not like involved with tower defense games, so we just started like drawing a conceptual map of our way, how it could look like, and this is how we actually like start with. Yeah, you will see the drawing later on, but like there on the left side you'll see the map already, and the core mechanics of the technical workings of the game is out there. And yeah.
Yeah, as we are pretty new to actually develop a game on Unity, what we actually just watched tutorials how to implement the game mechanics into Unity. So we based our foundation of that tutorial and built upon that. For the feature expansion, we used bought sprites from itch.io, which we were really thankful because these sprites really fit into our concept.
Which we even invested in, so we bought them, so there were some of them. Right, we support, yeah.
No AI.
Actually, there is AI, and there's a lot of it, but we'll get to it. I came prepared to be verbally bitch for it, but this is the beauty of it. January 29th, this is where the crunch began to submit, and the silly trailer thing that we showed at the beginning was part of the assignment. We just shortened it for the sake of the presentation. Then, at the end of the holidays, we started working again on the game, and you can see the last 4 stages of the finalizing. I don't think we should go too deep into them.
Yeah, like I said, inspiration was like basically just like tower defense gun, like balloons up there. We also took some inspiration from the castle of
Burg Hoch Osterwitz.
like that, exactly, thank you. And some inspiration from Plants vs. Zombies. And on the right side, you'll see the first mock-up we actually created for the map. So this is actually what I mentioned before. We just like drew some lines and we said, yeah, that's it, we're gonna go with that.
We decided that we wanted to stand out not only in the genre, but also with the thoughtfulness. The original idea was to include a lot of like ruined structures with some propaganda posters that would tell a more elaborate story that would make the player feel that the castle that they're defending, you're defending a castle, but you're on the wrong side. That was the intention, but unfortunately, due to the scope and the time restrictions of the project, we went another way, and the only remnant of this lore thing is in the cutscene that brawls at the beginning of the game.
So I'm gonna get into the core gameplay. It follows simple 4 steps. The first step is actually the enemy spawn and they follow a path. Then we basically place towers and upgrade them to defend our castle. Then after defeating the enemy, we can gain more coins to buy even more expensive towers. And after surviving all the waves, we can progress to the next level. As you can see, the first slide on the left side is level 2, and the last to the left is level 3. You progress your level through we have a health bar for every gate. So after the gate is like
Well, when the peasants have repaired your gate, you can advance to the next level.
the core features will be enemy waves, tower system, shop menu, and the coin system, which we implemented successfully. And we go more into detail with the art.
So, speaking of AI, I was responsible for generating the 99% of the visuals. Since the 87th, the last game dev meeting in March, where the person has been pitchforked for using AI to translate his game into a digital version. Discussing afterwards with people from here, I just realized that my idea of hiring somebody on Fiverr to redraw our AI assets isn't viable for this particular project, and AI is just a tool. And with this slide, I really just wanted to demonstrate how much human input it took to iterate and find the correct design, because the main AI tool that I used is Krea.ai. It's a real-time generator. On the left side, you have your editor, where you can draw things, and on the right, there's the imagined output. So here are the finished assets. I've also decided to pixel art them because they looked way too AI-ish, and now it fits with the rest of the assets that we got. There we go, ready to be pitchforked for using AI.
Yeah, for the challenges, and first of all, like we said, we had some discussions after the last meetup with them because of the AI thing. I still have to point out our subject was programming, so our main focus, or actually the priority, was to implement the code of the word, not the AI, the art, I'm sorry.
And we were allowed to use AI tools for image generation, but not for coding.
Yeah, and we are not artists, we are still in somewhere in the beginning. For the challenges, it was actually the challenge was to connect all the systems we created, because we created all the tasks and assigned them to each other. And so we worked flexible and modular, and then at the end we have to merge everything into one working system, which was very hard, but I think with a lot of communication it was manageable. So yeah, and also we did a lot of debugging. We used a lot of loggings, there are still some in it, but especially with the coin incident, because in the beginning, it was not possible you can click the coins to collect them, but it was not possible, and it actually sacrificed a lot of nerves, and we actually took a lot of free time to restart.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and some more difficulties, which I want to mention is the UI overlap issues. So we had a lot of problems with the UI and overlapping layers. Also, I already mentioned, the coin system, which then luckily actually solved for us, because we already got, how should I say, burned out. And for the upgrade UI, yeah, we actually worked a lot on the UI, so it's matching everything, all the elements we created. There was a long time in which we actually missed the winning screen, and we talked about, okay, when should we do it? And so when we did it.
There was a lot of trial and error figuring it out, because this is, again, our first time ever, and we just really appreciate all of the warmth to be able to be so bold to demonstrate this, not a masterpiece, but rather a time capsule of our skills. Because yes, AI is a tool, but there was you still need a lot of human input to make it look like you want it to.
And to sum it up, we have this little code so you can actually understand and relate to our situation back then, but I think you all actually know this kind of situation. And yeah, so I think these slides speaks for itself. Yeah, for the iterative process, like I said, we already did like a lot of debugging, prototyping the course, but we still stood with all the things we defined in the beginning on. We did not like created more wishes, more adapting things, more tasks. We actually just like stayed with the thing we defined in the beginning on, so we can present you like a whole project, which we are not like just like throwing away whenever we have done the task, the project itself for the subject. Yeah.
We are proud to say that we have successfully published this game, our first game on itch.io. It is a functional tower defense game which only has 2 levels, but 3 levels, sorry. But we are, yeah, it's in the making of new development, and we are also proud to say that we successfully implement our concept into a real game. And yeah, what we learned is that it is not easy. It was frustrating frustrating, especially the coin system, which I fought for like 1 week or more. And we also learned that it is very important to get the theme of iterative design and prioritize more on the functionality rather than the visuals. So we kind of planned it to, we kind of rushed the coding for a bit, and then we took our time and re-implement some new code and reinvent some of the old code. And thank God we had Dan on our side to take care of the visuals. And yeah.
Using this moment, I'd like to also discuss the possible future steps. Right now, we would all really like to hear your thoughts about the game itself, but also the feedback that you will provide will probably not get implemented because we have spent, I think, way too much time to bring this to a state where it currently is. And first of all, there's huge potential. I think somebody used an adjective earlier, predatory for the mobile. Like there's so much potential for mobile predatory microtransactions within this game to buy like skins and make it a mobile hit, but it's just not really what we want to invest our time in right now because we have some other interesting projects, and we are also open to new work. That's me saying I'm looking for a job in the industry without sounding too desperate. Anyhow, this is the QR code to the itch.io page. We would love to hear your questions, and maybe we can even open Google Chrome and share my clicks on the itch.io page. Also, if anybody has a solution to our full screen issues, because right now you need to. Am I tripping or what?
Okay. You have to use
Like the in a
fucking microphone.
If you can lower the music for a bit, then we can look at it and have the questions.
yeah, of course.
Let me just do that. Entity 1 and 2.
So, can I already ask?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, right. So, since this was your first project and you struggled with a lot of different areas while doing it, when did you do the first active playtest with a non-team member?
Ooh, actually,
this is an interesting, I think somewhere at the end of February, I personally struggled a lot with making WebGL work because it was compiling without telling me what's wrong. It wasn't compiling without telling me what's wrong. Once I had finally had the playable version of it within a browser, then we have decided to, okay, let's show this to some people, let's see how they play it. And actually that turned out in a lot of polishing work that we had to do, because the last round of polishing tasks came exactly from that playtesting session.
So, if you allow me a follow-up question, what was like the single biggest thing, like you would say,